Hey guys, welcome to Lick My Brain. So glad you're here. I'm Mary, your host, and today I got her. I got her, the Grand Poobah. I told you, the Grand Poobah of the Lightworkers.
Better
This
than
is
me on
Miss.
poo.
That's that's right. This is Miss Nikki MacGregor with
Mm.
GOL, and it's the Gathering of the Lightworkers. And welcome, Miss Nikki. First of all, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to play with us today.
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. Thanks for inviting me. Yeah, I'm excited to be on here. I know we had some conversations before this, and so it's fun being able to share communities and share our
Absolutely.
message and yeah, be seen and heard.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're kind of the well, it's your fault that I'm kind of doing this too because when I when I first met Nikki through Andrea like we all do, she's like my little she gets me out into the world and I meet the people. And then following what Nikki was doing and how she's helping all these local healers get their names out there and share their voices and their magic. She's magic all on her own. And then she turns around and helps amplify this for everybody else. And I just felt so called to support that in some way. But I kept going, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And then just having Andrea on, do a little bit of a podcasty kind of thing that I like, it was, oh, okay, well, I'm not a light worker, but I can be the bridge and help people get their name out there and get their voice out there and help raise the vibration and all that. So that feels super, super good. And I feel very called to do that, but I'm painfully shy. So going out to meet new light workers has been a little tough, I will admit, but it's also they're very welcoming. So it's the most amazing crowd in the world is to go to one of these events that you have, and everyone is just so lovely, and it's just that big kumbaya vibe every single time. I love it
Yeah, it's
so much.
family, it's tribe, it's community. Yeah, but thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
And I
So
will say you are doing light work. Like it comes in different forms, like light
thank
worker.
you.
I mean, and that's actually a really big trigger word for people.
Mhm.
And that was part of the rebranding a couple years ago to GOL Network is just because we're a professional provider group. But yeah, GOL stands for Gathering of Light Workers. And it was so fascinating how that either drew people in or triggered them, which is so fascinating how words hold so much power and energy. Um, but yeah, we're all doing light work when we want to make a bigger impact, no matter what that looks like. Like you don't have to have
Yeah.
physical hands on people, but you're doing it. I just want to
Yeah.
say
Thank
that.
you. Thank
Yep.
you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, tell the brain lickers out there all about Miss Nikki McGuire. Let us all know your magic.
Yeah, yeah. Lick my brain. I love that. That's so cool.
Thank
I
you.
love the uniqueness, what you've created, Mira. But yeah, a little bit about my backstory, my why, who I am. I don't know. Gosh, who am I? Another one of the crazy ones. Um, I spent 20 years in physical therapy. I'm professionally trained in Western medicine, all the college degrees and all that, and continuing education. And really just saw the Western medicine is a broken model. I worked in it for 20 years and it was just missing. It was missing the emotional, mental, spiritual component, the energetics of it. It's just the whole human was not being taken care of, and it's very disconnected. So I did physical therapy. The last bit was in neuro and stepped down from the hospital. And I'd go see patients that were in the hospital coming in. Maybe it was a stroke or head injury or like a knee replacement or broken hip, all of those things, or just being sick.
Mhm.
And I'd walk into a room, and of course, I read their diagnosis and I read the plan of care and all that. It's all the paper, the numbers. I walk in a room and I could just feel their energy, and I can just feel like, okay, you have idiopathic back pain, but I could feel your energy is like, oh, like you are the emotional traumas, all that's happening. And yeah, like the plan of care, you got to walk a certain distance and do this, whatever. It was, hey, do you want to go outside? Do you want to get in the sunshine, go for a walk? And just listening to them, and finding out, like, just going back to the human person, not just a file in a patient chart. And that's what like I was very good at that. And it was about building relationships.
Hmm.
And I think that's where sometimes it's missed the mark in Western medicine. I think we're doing better at that now. But yeah, so anyways, I was just really getting to that whole picture, the eight dimensions of wellness, because yeah, you could get stronger and you could have better nutrition, but if you're not emotionally, mentally, spiritually well, then the gear systems are off. And so
Hmm.
yeah, I did that. And then I feel like there was a lot of God moments. And it was like, let's slam the door in your face. You're gonna go do something different. And I didn't know what that was. But yeah, I quit my job in faith. My husband was not happy with that. I walked from my 20-year career. Um, but really, I knew I was supposed to do something different. I was supposed to make a bigger impact. I started seeing visions of a healing center. I've met people that have seen this huge healing center. I mean, I'm talking like 20, 40 acres and healers in there and like a spa on crack. And like it's starting to be built in the valley, like all these different wellness centers. I haven't seen one that's the one, like in the
Hmm.
vision. But yeah, I just was called to start like 2021. People are still in Camp A and Camp B, right? Like
Right,
politics and all the dichotomy, right?
right.
And the only way we truly heal our world is we have to find common ground. We have to come together and heal our community. It starts at that grassroots, that base level. And so
Hmm.
I can't remember. I was watching something. It was really talking about healing community, coming back to that. And it was like, yeah, like let's serve our higher self. Where can we have common ground? And so that was where March of 2022, just felt really called to bring people together, people that were feeling, more of the energetics, the intuitives, that kind of thing, empaths, whatever you
Hmm.
want to label it, people in wellness, alternative. I don't even call it alternative. It's like real healing, natural
Hmm.
space, biohacking, all that stuff, right?
Right.
And root cause, and brought them together. And there was 12 people around a coffee shop table, and that's where we started. And the energy in the room, like it was just remarkable. People were like, I slept so good last night, and oh my gosh, I'm so charged. And
Hmm.
wow, people that get me. And they were like, do it again. So I did it again and again, and then it just caught fire. And then it was like, oh, this is something really special. And we started, and we're still anchored in this. We started with raising the frequency of joy and gratitude, coming together as community and collaborating on all things healing mind, body, spirit.
Love that.
From day one, we started there. We stay anchored in that. That's everything we do. Today, oh my gosh, last year we did 92 events. We are an independent provider network. We've got a directory. We've got a huge event coming up in June for a biohacking event with MDs, naturopath, chiropractors, tons of speakers, vendors that are going to be there that are going to do all sorts of experiences. It's just bringing the local community back together and that
Hmm.
healing that happens and bridging that gap between Western and Eastern and bridging the gap in spirituality too. Like I'm seeing that happen in our group,
Hmm.
like the separation, the degrees of separation. Why don't we look at the degrees of what we have in common
Right.
and agree and respectfully agree to disagree? Like we don't have, like that'd be boring if we like, oh, we're the same,
Right.
you know?
Exactly. Exactly. And there's no competition. What I loved, really, really love about this community is it's the more the merrier. Like whatever it's going to take to get everybody into that space of wellness and raise the vibration and bring other things for people in our community to look at. Because there's a lot of wellness modalities for my own health that in my own medical journey that I've been introduced to just stepping into the GOL network, going to an event here and there and listening to people and share what they do and how they do it. And when it starts talking to your heart, you should listen. And then but your head gets the Western medicine stuff gets in there. And so
The
it takes a lot
programming.
of hold on,
Mhm.
hold on, hold on. Let me just look at this and then and it's like it doesn't have to be one or the other. I know people who
Mhm.
are left-footed very big time in the holistic world, but unfortunately they have to kind of dabble still in the Western. You got to do what you got to do to support yourself, you know, your body and all that. But just the idea of what everyone in this community is doing is so beautiful. And to see them welcoming other people who are doing maybe something a little tiny different, it's still like, yeah, come in and let's all work together. Let's find a way to help others. Was
Yeah.
there,
And
go
it's not
ahead.
even like everything serves its purpose. And
Mm-hmm.
so, like, there's a place for Western medicine, there's a place for holistic. I think we can get really extreme on both, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and if you think about it, like, oh, you're taking like medications and pharmaceuticals and bad, big pharma,
Right.
but are we, I just saw this recently, are we just replacing that with supplements and herbalism and like you know what I mean? Like at the same
Mm-hmm.
time, like if we really want to dig deeper, once our body understands the frequency of something, we don't really I mean, that's our capacity is we can heal ourselves by just knowing the key of that frequency and heal ourselves. Like we have that capacity within us. So it's almost
Mm-hmm.
fascinating where we drift from one side to the other, but we're still filling the gaps with something that we have to take, even though the healing, God gave us the healing within us.
Right.
Once we get that um, just an example. So I'm seeing Dr. Colby in our group. He's a naturopath and he does live and dry blood analysis and over the microscope and he can tell your medical history and you don't have to tell him a thing. So it's super crazy. And then
Wow.
I was like, oh, okay, do my blood, right? And he told me my medical history and I said nothing. And I'm like, what is this? And so he for muscle testing, if anybody's not familiar with muscle testing, there's the body sway, there's using the arm, there's the finger roll, like yes, no. A lot of practitioners use muscle testing in like, I mean, big brick and mortar functional medicine. I mean, this is well used because your body knows what it needs, but Colby uses the pendulum over your blood drop. And it's yes, no. And it's very clear. And what I realized is every single time it was just one, and I'd only need it for like a week. And I finally realized, oh, my body just needs to remember or recognize the frequency of that supplement. And I don't think I need it anymore. It's like it got the key. I think I could sleep next to that supplement and I'm going to absorb it. Like I
Mm.
truly believe that's possible if we allow ourselves to really grasp that and embody it and accept that, right? Like you have to also like believe that that could be possible.
Right.
Like
Right.
I mean, didn't Edgar Casey like literally read a book through osmosis? You know, like he just slept on the books. Like,
Yeah.
what is possible? And so I think like you said, you know, with Western medicine, like we've been like, I mean, whether you want to call it brainwashing or just what society is used to and what we've been told, and that's just
Mm-hmm.
what our normal is. And now we're like learning a different normal.
Right.
Like, what
Right.
is possible?
It is very possible. I wish the part of the Western medicine that's heartbreaking for me to witness is watching how a dollar is going to dictate whether that person who needs this medicine gets that medicine. I think if there's more options out there for people to know about on the holistic realm, on the energetic realm, they can see a possibility, they can go try it and see the difference for themselves, feel the difference for themselves. That's what I've enjoyed for myself because I'm slowly coming off of Western medicine, but I'm seeing my health is increasing. The benefit of what I'm doing holistically is actually working, but it's also, like you said, mind, body, soul, the whole thing. Like I've got to be all the way. I can't just be working on the physical.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, like I know I said like you can heal yourself with your mind, but there is a time and place like where sometimes we need those things to get it started.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, it's like it's a process to move to that other side of and it's constant work, you know, like the
Right.
whole mental, right? Like the level of stress that people are under, the cortisol, the nervous system. I mean, that really is the root of everything for
Mm-hmm.
wellness is where if we're dysregulated and
Right.
under a lot of pressure and stress, and how does that play out in your health? Because it's just a trickle down effect to the point
Oh
where
yeah.
you're
Oh,
like
yeah.
hitting the bottom. You're like, all right, now it's time. I got to do something about this.
Yeah. I am really impressed, especially out here, moving out here and hearing how many, there's a lot of men doing it as well. People just openly talking about and normalizing the whole mental health part. Because everyone back in our day, you didn't talk about, being depressed. You didn't talk about things feeling off. You didn't talk about any of those things. And now it's people are coming out and trying other things like meditation. And I used to think, meditation, what? And then I start doing it and I can see the benefit. The somatic breath, like those things that I personally would even poo poo away because I was so into, well, no, if I'm not doing this, this, and this, I'm never going to get better. And so it was even my own, I had to change the way I was thinking.
Exceptions, yeah.
Exactly. And so I know that people listening today are going to hear some of this stuff and just be like, oh, God, a bunch of woo woo people. But I will tell you, a room full of woo woo people, I would sit in that room any day compared to the old type of thinking that I used to have and just be so closed minded. And at this point, when you say I'll do anything to get better, and all of a sudden the universe has dropped this big giant network of people right there, and
Mhm.
there's a directory, maybe you call a few
Mhm.
people and try a few things. And
Yeah, and even the woo-woo word, gosh, that's come up so much.
I know.
What does that mean? And
Hmm.
I mean, quite honestly, it's ancient methods that just work. I just had this conversation yesterday where somebody's like woo woo, and she's trained in Thailand, and we have the science and the quantum to back up, everything that's done in our holistic space, biohacking space, vitality space, root cause, like all the words, right? They're all words.
Hmm.
And then, it was interesting as she was talking about this, most people in our group are very educated, like doctors, formally trained, continue to take education. Like it's not just fly by the seat of your pants or even YouTube PhD. I'm talking like
Right.
this is like real certification and training. I mean,
Right.
I have my PhD in a few things, but more YouTube, but um yeah, it's not woo. Woo is kind of like seen as, oh, just kind of like, oh, you're just feeling this thing. But what was so fascinating in my conversation yesterday is she's trained in Thailand, and over there with that ancient medicine, there are just like the mentors over there, she's asking questions. They're just like, oh, it just works. Like, why are you asking these questions? Like it just is. And so it's like in the US, we hyperanalyze, like we're almost looking for the reason why it shouldn't work versus just
Right.
embracing the fact that that shit works. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
like
That shit
calming your
works.
mind, prayer, meditation, breathing, feeling the feels, allowing your body space to be able to express emotion in a regulated, healthy way. I mean, like
Hmm.
you mentioned men, like our society of men, like I mean, that's a whole nother conversation, but um, allowing them to still have that masculinity, but also to like be able to be vulnerable and have those express those emotions versus a society of all they can do is be happy or angry.
Right.
They can't be sad. They can't, feel all the things, right? And so I
Right.
think just creating a good space for everybody. And that is a space like in GOL. We have there's a lot of women's groups, and especially there's a lot of spiritual groups, a lot of professional networking groups that are women's only.
Hmm.
And then there's men's, and then there's always combination. That's what I like about our group is we have a very emotionally intelligent men in our group,
Hmm.
and women, and I what's it's so diverse. Like we have all types of religions, different politics, like but we don't talk about that. That's not what
Right.
matters. It comes back down to like, what's your passion? What's your soapbox? Let's run. Let's
Yeah.
share that. Like, oh, that's cool. Tell me more.
Yeah. And you
Um,
help local. So if a light worker or a holistic professional practitioner wanted to come in to this network, you provide more than just, okay, come to coffee. Like, what are the things that you do so much for these
yeah.
entrepreneurs?
Yeah, we have a very large menu. It's meeting the needs of where people are at. So, yes, do we have events for people to connect and collaborate, 100%. So 92 last year, we do coffee, lunch, evening socials, big events like the biohacking one coming up. We have ribbon cuttings, a lot of different stuff, masterminds, virtual stuff. But we have an online directory, and we have thousands of people that come into our website. And so people do, like yourself, like, I need to look for somebody. So it's a trusted, vetted, they're interviewed. And so you can't just get on there, you have to be interviewed. We also do a lot of social media marketing. We give the spotlight, the mic to our professional members. So we have different membership levels, some for non business, some for any business, and some for wellness business.
Mm-hmm.
And so, really, the biggest thing is visibility. How do we get people that are in crisis and need the healing? And then over here, we've got the people that have the key, and
Mm-hmm.
bringing them together and creating opportunity. So, that's what we do, is create a platform, a space for people to have that opportunity. So like our upcoming class, the Learn and Experience, that's this Friday, that's Activate the Soul, Rhythm and Regulation. We have EFT tapping, breath work, drumming, and PEMF. So this whole mind, body, spirit, a physical component, a breath, it encapsulates, but it's a sampler. So
Mm-hmm.
people can come to this sampler that might never go to a breath work or never learn about tapping or what the heck is PIMF, PEMF. What the heck is that? I don't know. It's a lot of letters. Um, Pulse electromagnetic field therapy. It's scalar. Anyways, um, but they're amazing modalities that it's not taking a pill. It's not adverse reactions. It's something so simple, tools that you can have in your home that
Mm-hmm.
can really create healing at such a simple level. And so, yeah, creating those opportunities for anybody to come in or other providers to come in and be like, oh, I didn't know that. I want to work with that person or refer to them. So,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, a lot of different things.
Is there like a particular modality that sticks out like right now if you had to pick one? Because there's, I know it's hard for one, but if there was
Yeah.
one that really was that, not like a defining moment, but just you just knew like, okay, we're on to something. Let's just keep putting our energy into this particular
Like from
path.
my personal experience.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Well, my personal experience and my that kind of goes to my why is my mom had cancer twice when I was younger. She's great. She's totally kicking butt. You met her at Andrea's
Mm-hmm.
thing.
She's yeah.
Um, but my dad passed from early onset Alzheimer's. We're coming up on 10 years. So
Mm-hmm.
June 9th will be his passing over. And he was 68, so he was really young. 67, yeah, 67, 68. And I was 36 years old when it happened, and my world just like really came crashing down, and he was my rock. And yeah, it was a lot of crisis, like witnessing. He was so physically fit, he could run down the hall, but he had the mind of a 2-year-old. And he was a boxer in the Marine Corps. And so, what do they want to do in a psych ward for somebody that's older? They want to contain him. And so, he was chemically restrained. He was on 12 antipsychotics. They were injecting him with Haldol just to chemically restrain him. And it was awful.
Mm-hmm.
It was awful. And not to be a downer on this, but the reality is, I don't think he's a unique case. And it's extremely underserved, and there's a better way. There's a better way that he could have had a better quality of life, a better passing over, and not in this crisis, fight and flight kind of mode.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really unfortunate. It was the hardest thing I had to go through and witness. And honestly, his passing, it was such relief that he no longer had to fight in this body. And I'll tell this story, but 3 days before he passed, we took him home for the first time, and it was hard. Like, he was a max assist transfer. It was just really, really hard. But he opened his eyes. He was trying to talk because he was nonverbal, like he was dependent on everything by this point. But he was trying to communicate with my girls and like make noises. And then it was time to go back to the VA where he was staying. And my mom was talking about him. And I'm like, Mom, I mean, I know he's like, I mean, he's super demented by this point, but he's still there. He's still, his soul is still in that body and he could still
Hmm.
comprehend something. And he was so intuitive, like very intuitively gifted. He used to have gifts of premonition and knew before things would happen. I have that same thing.
Hmm.
And I was like, Mom, he's listening. And I go, she's looking at me, and I was like, no, he understands what we're saying because she's talking about him. And so we get to the VA, and my mom goes in to go get his wheelchair, and he's sitting in the back, and he's got his eyes open, but I could tell, I could just feel he's upset. And I was just like, Dad, we had a good day. We'll try to do this again, but Mom can't take you home. Like, there's just no way. I know that's what you want, but there's just no way Mom could do it. I could just feel his energy. I could feel that he was just, that's all he wanted.
Hmm.
And so I like rubbed his sternum, like real, I'm gonna get your attention here.
Hmm.
And I got in his glance and he looked at me and I go, do you understand? And he went and just shook
Mm.
his head. And yeah, 3 days later he passed over. And it was,
Mm. I'm so sorry.
but
What a beautiful
it's, yeah, it's
gift that you gave him by connecting with him like that and
yeah, and it's just I think it takes these valleys. It takes
hmm.
these valleys of realizing like how life's short. Life is so short. How do we want to
Mhm.
live this life? Gosh, I'm emotional today.
It's
um,
okay. That's okay.
um, Life is so precious and so beautiful. And how do we want to live it? And what do we want our story to be? And so a lot of my why is I don't want people to have to go through what my dad went through because now it's so, and all the things that I've experienced with him passing over and on the other side and all the gifts and like he visited me in my dreams and just beautiful things that have happened and it's truly a gift. And I wouldn't have had it if that didn't happen. Like I wouldn't have these experiences. I probably wouldn't even have GOL to be honest. Like
Mm,
because my drives, I don't want to see people go through that crisis mode. I don't want people to have to suffer or not have hope or the only hope
right.
is death. And I want better quality of life. And so having a space
Mhm.
like GOL where people can come in and finally have the hope to find providers like, when I first met Dr. John Harmon and his crew with like Alyssa and Marissa, and they've got microcurrent that could have helped with neurofeedback. And what about the nutrition? Like there is a cure for everything.
Mhm.
And our providers in our group have that. They
Yeah.
have it. And that's the big thing. That's like that's my story, and what propels
Mhm.
me. And why like it's more that God moment of like, oh, I'm really good at connecting people. I'm really good at throwing parties. But really the purpose is how do we really serve the community to help the right people be seen and yeah.
Yeah. And see that there's other choices they can make. They don't have to just stick to one way. There's so many multiple different modalities that you're able to showcase in that network that there's something in there for everybody, literally something in there for
Mhm.
every single person on this planet. And now, okay, so you've mentioned biohacking or backing?
Biohacking.
Hacking. What is
But
that? Will you share with us what that is?
well, it's a big word. A lot of
Another
people
word.
want and a big word as in it's an attractive word right now. And so the biohacking and vitality event that's coming up, we did it in January. Dr. Karlfeld basically gave us his whole center. I said, "Where's my boundaries?" And he said, "Just don't let equipment walk away." And I go, "Sold, I can do that." Um, but yeah, we did it in January where we had 12 speakers talk concurrently with vendors and wellness vendors. And it wasn't just a table and here's a brochure. I'm talking, there were full treatments like biochargers, muscle testing, in-body scans, tuning forks, massage, like cacao tastings, coffee tasting. It just never ended. Like there was just all
Mm-hmm.
these really cool things. So totally different. So it's a full like healing experience and education. Um, and we did it in 4 weeks. So we had 140 people there.
Whoa.
So
Whoa. That's
it
pretty
was a
good
little
for
like a shotgun wedding.
a little bit.
Crazy. A little crazy, but gotta be a little crazy to do this kind of stuff. And it really was life-changing for a lot of people. And so we, before the event, knew we were going to do it again. So we set the date for it. So it's June 26th and 27th. The
Nice.
main event, we have a VIP event again. So that's going to be sound bath and cacao ceremony and special guests. That VIP event, it's a 2-day ticket, so you get both days. So it's completely catered where you get like a VIP gift bag with there's going to be a whole bunch of free stuff in there and options. It's really designed for speakers, vendors, and VIP guests to come together intimately and then get to know each other before the main event. And then it creates like the tribe, right? Like the
Mm-hmm.
connections between each other, and then the speakers can edify each other because they already know each other now.
Right.
Um, but it anchors in that intention of why we're doing it.
Mm-hmm.
And so the main event, that's what I would love. Anybody watching this, I would love for you to be part of this. Or if you're a provider, we do have vendor spots open. But what we're doing with this is marketing before, during, and after for our providers that are part of that and participating. But it's a Saturday event, so all day at the Marriott in Meridian. So it's on the corner of Eagle and Overland Road. We've got the entire grand ballroom, the pre-function space, and the courtyard, and I'm kind of taking over the lobby. So pretty much like Dr. Carlfeld, I think the Marriott's getting taken over by GOL and the biohacking event with really
Nice.
cool people. So it's a ticketed event. We keep the ticket price super low, but you're getting all the recordings to the speakers. You're going to get so many experiences. We're going to have Fuel Up Nutrition there, doing like vitality drinks. Tracy's going to be there with charcuterie boxes. The
Mm.
Marriott's going to have a buffet that you guys can pre-purchase. Live music. It's going to be 10x from the last one. And so yeah, it's a big event on the 27th, and we have very dedicated vendor time. And so we'll have, experience with our wellness vendors, and then we'll have a first section of 5 speakers. And these are MDs, naturopath,
Mm.
chiropractors, other wellness. There's 10 of them. And then we'll take a break, go back to where we can have all the experience and live music and food at lunch. And then we'll do a second round of speakers. They're only 15 minutes, so they're going to get to the point. You're not going to be like hour-long talks.
Right,
You're
right.
going to get right to the point, and be able to find better ways of healing and discover what's out there. Like um, Dr. Musnick's talking about long COVID and brain fog. Dr. Pennick is talking about peptides or regenerative medicine. David DeHaas is going to talk about colonics, gut health, and parasites. We've got gosh, Troy's going to talk about like um neuro healing and super patch stuff. Like we've got 10 great speakers. So it's
Yeah.
there's just all these different topics to hit every point. So it's a great, again, it's a sampler where you're not going to get bored, far
Yeah.
from bored.
You will not
You're going
get
to be
bored.
like, wait, take my notes. I want more.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now, I'm going to have everything in the show notes, but there's a link, I suppose, where they can go buy the tickets. If there are, you were saying vendors, if there's someone who wants to be a vendor, is there still time
There
for
is. So my
someone to
goal
sign
is,
up?
yep. So we have a maximum of 33. So it's limited. I'm filling those up, and then an extra bonus. So if you get in before May 25th, which is right around the corner,
Mm-hmm.
then you're going to get on our print mailer that goes out to 2,500 homes. And so what we have is 3 different sponsorship packages that include a vendor table. But again, like I said, we're doing marketing before, we've got radio ads, we're taking care of our vendors there. And then also after,
Mm-hmm.
we're doing a lot of momentum that we have a directory, full dedicated website. So again, what we're going to do is all the reels that go out afterwards, we'll have like 40. All that's going to direct is back into that directory of all the vendors that are there. So anybody that's got
Mm-hmm.
FOMO and missed out, you got the speaker recordings that you can have access to, and then Yeah, we're gonna just keep that momentum going. But yeah, if anybody's in wellness, totally get on board with this. And if you're
Hmm.
interested in wellness, come to the event on June 27th at the Marriott.
Excellent. Excellent.
Biohackboise.com. Pretty easy.
Biohackboise.com. Okay, everything is definitely going to be down below, so they'll be able to find it and get there. I can't wait. I definitely want to do it, so it'll be exciting. I
Yeah.
didn't get to go to the last one, so
Yeah.
this
And
is
if you guys
exciting.
want a discount code to special with Mary, use Vitality20. That'll get you 20% off your
Oh,
ticket. So
cool.
write that down.
All
Little
right,
freebie for
brain
Mayor's
lickers.
tummy.
That's a good deal. I like it.
We
I
all like
like
good
it.
deals, huh?
We all like good deals. Well, gosh dang it. I'm so excited that you got to come play with us today, and I could
Thank
sit
you
here
for
and pick
having
your
me.
brain about all of this stuff. It's just fascinating. And you have a hell of a radio voice, Mama. Like
Oh,
it's
do I?
good.
Maybe
Yes.
it's the microphone.
It's good. It's good.
Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
okay, you guys. Well, leave some comments down below. Ask all the questions. I'll have all the little links to find Nikki and all the people and all the signups and all the end of the June 27th, you said it was June
Mhm.
27th event is gonna be mind blowing. So don't if you're in the area, go. If you're not in the area, get here and go. Like it's
Exactly. It's at the Marriott. I mean, you could
yeah.
have a staycation at the Marriott. There's actually a discount code from the Marriott on the website too. So
Oh, sweet. Sweet, sweet.
it's all set up.
Okay.
Very good. Thank you, Mayor.
Well, thank you, ma'am. Okay, guys. Well, thanks for playing with us. As always, get out there and be kind to one another, be good humans, lick some amazing brains today. And we never, ever, ever forget, don't be a dick. See you later.
See ya.